Sculpting the Self, A Journey to Your Highest Identity, by David Rousseau. What if the person you've been trying to become is already within you waiting, not to be found, but to be sculpted? Right now, you're living inside a story, a set of beliefs, habits, and identities you've carried, some chosen, many inherited. But here's the truth most people never stop to realize. You are not fixed. You are not finished. You are not defined by your past. You are the artist, and this is your masterpiece in the making. Sculpting the self in just a journey of self-improvement. It's a process of self-creation, a conscious, courageous decision to break what no longer serves you and shape what does. In the chapters ahead, you won't just reflect on who you are, you'll design who you're becoming. So before we begin, ask yourself one question. Are you ready to meet your highest self and become them? Introduction. Awakening to your true self. There comes a moment, quiet, almost unnoticeable, when you begin to sense that the life you're living no longer fully fits the person you are becoming. It may arrive through restlessness, through discomfort, or through a deep, unexplainable longing. Or perhaps it comes as a whisper. There is more to you than this. That moment is not a coincidence, it is an awakening. For much of life, we move through the world shaped by invisible forces, expectations, past experiences, unexamined fears, and stories repeated so often they begin to feel like truth. Over time, it's easy to believe identity is fixed, defined by history, mistakes, or circumstance. But what if that belief is the greatest illusion of all? What if you are not here merely to discover yourself, but to create yourself? This is the essence of identity sculpting. Just as a sculptor looks at a block of stone and envisions the masterpiece within, you have the power to shape your inner world, your thoughts, beliefs, habits, and self-perception. The raw material already exists. Within you lives strength you may not have fully accessed, clarity you may not have fully trusted, and a version of yourself that is aligned, grounded, and deeply at peace. This journey is about uncovering that version, not by adding something new, but by releasing what no longer belongs. Transformation is not an instant shift. It is a conscious process. It requires awareness, honesty, and a willingness to let go of what is familiar in order to step into what is true. It asks you to question the narratives you've accepted and to intentionally choose new ones that reflect who you are becoming. In the chapters ahead, you will be guided through a process of deep reflection and intentional growth. You will explore your current identity, the beliefs, patterns, and stories shaping your reality. You will learn to release limiting ideas, reconnect with your core values, and set clear, purposeful intentions. You will be invited to align with your spiritual center and begin embodying the version of yourself you envision, not someday, but now. This is not just about thinking differently, it's about being differently. There will be moments that challenge you, moments that stretch you, and moments that bring clarity. Each step is designed to move you closer to your highest identity, the version of you that lives with purpose, confidence, presence, and inner peace. Before continuing, there is one essential step, a decision to show up fully, a decision to be honest with yourself, a decision to release what is comfortable in order to embrace what is true. This journey asks for courage, openness, and commitment, but what it offers in return is profound. The opportunity to consciously shape your life from the inside out. Take a deep breath. Ground yourself in this moment. Recognize that the desire for growth, for alignment, for something more is not a coincidence. It is a signal, a call toward expansion. You are not starting from nothing. You are beginning from awareness. And from that place, everything can change. Your highest self is not a distant idea. It is a living possibility. And your journey begins now. Chapter 1. The Mirror Within. Before anything can be transformed, it must first be seen. This chapter is your invitation to pause, to step out of the noise of daily life and turn inward. Not to judge, not to criticize, but to observe. Because the truth is simple. You cannot consciously shape who you are becoming if you remain unconscious of who you are right now. Most people move through life on autopilot, guided by patterns they didn't choose and beliefs they've never questioned. Thoughts repeat, habits reinforce themselves, identity becomes something assumed rather than examined. But beneath all of this conditioning Is awareness the part of you capable of witnessing it all? This is your mirror. The mirror within is not about your reflection in the physical sense. It is your ability to look honestly at your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, and the stories you tell yourself. It asks you to become both the observer and the student of your own life. So begin with a simple but powerful question. Who am I, really? Not who you've been told you are, not who you've learned to be to survive or to be accepted, but who you are beneath the roles, beneath the expectations, beneath the fear. Take a moment to sit with this. You may notice resistance. You may notice uncertainty. That's okay. This is where the work begins. Now, bring awareness to the beliefs that shape your identity. What do you believe about yourself? Are those beliefs empowering or limiting? Do they expand your life or quietly confine it? Write them down without filtering. Statements like, I am not disciplined. I always struggle with consistency. I'm not confident enough. I'm the kind of person who gives up. These may feel like facts, but they are not facts. They are stories. Stories form through repetition, experience, and interpretation. And what has been learned can be unlearned. Next, explore your values. What truly matters to you, not what should matter, but what actually resonates with you on a deeper level. Is it growth, freedom, connection, peace, purpose? Many people live in quiet misalignment, chasing goals that don't reflect their true values, and that misalignment often shows up as frustration, confusion, or lack of fulfillment. Your current life is a reflection of what you've been prioritizing consciously or unconsciously. Now, turn your attention to your habits. How do you spend your time? What do your daily actions say about who you believe you are? Habits are identity in motion. They are the repeated proof of your self-concept. If you believe you are someone who lacks discipline, your habits will reflect that belief. If you believe you are focused and intentional, your actions will begin to align accordingly. There is no need to judge what you find, only to see it clearly. Awareness is powerful because it creates choice. Without awareness, patterns run automatically. With awareness, you begin to interrupt them, you begin to question them, and eventually, you begin to change them. To deepen this process, take time to journal honestly. Let your thoughts flow without trying to make them sound right or positive. This is not about perfection, it is about truth. Reflect on these prompts. Who do I believe I am today? What patterns keep repeating in my life? What fears or limitations feel most present? What parts of myself have I been avoiding or suppressing? As you write, remember, nothing you discover here is permanent. It is simply a snapshot of your current identity, not your final one. This chapter is not about becoming someone new yet. It is about seeing clearly, because when you can see yourself without illusion, without denial, and without judgment, something powerful happens. You create space. Space between who you are now and who you are capable of becoming. And in that space, transformation begins. Chapter 2. Letting go of the old you. To fully embrace who you are becoming, you must first release the version of yourself that no longer fits. This step is often the hardest. In personal transformation, not because change is impossible, but because releasing the familiar can feel strange, even unsettling. The old version of yourself, even with its limitations, is comfortable, it's predictable. That predictability creates a false sense of security. Yet what once offered protection may now be a barrier. The beliefs, habits, and patterns you explored in the last chapter didn't appear randomly. They developed over time, shaped by your experiences, environments, and ways you learned to cope, belong, or survive. Once, they had a purpose. But purpose doesn't always equal permanence. True growth requires letting go. Releasing the old doesn't mean erasing your history or ignoring your experiences. It's about recognizing them consciously and choosing not to be defined by them. It's a deliberate act of shedding what no longer aligns with your future self. Ask yourself honestly, what am I holding onto that doesn't serve me anymore? It could be a belief, like, I'm not enough, I can't change, this is just who I am. It could be a habit, procrastination, overthinking, avoidance, negative self-talk. Or it could be an emotional cycle, fear of failure, fear of judgment, dependence on approval. Remember, letting go isn't losing yourself. It's removing the layers that have been concealing your true self. One way to start is through intentional release. Write a farewell letter to your old identity. Address the version of you shaped by limitation. Acknowledge it. Appreciate it for the protection or guidance it offered. Then, decisively let it go. For example, I see how you tried to keep me safe. I understand your fears, your doubts, your caution. But I no longer need to be bound by you. I am choosing growth. I am choosing a new way of being. This exercise isn't just symbolic, it's potent. Awareness plus intention sparks change. Another key practice is learning to observe your thoughts, without automatically following them. Not every thought is true, and not every feeling requires action. When a limiting belief arises, pause and ask, does this align with the person I want to become? If the answer is no, you can choose to let it drift away. Letting go is rarely a one-time event. Old habits and familiar thoughts will resurface. Each time you notice them and refrain from engaging, their hold weakens. As you release, you can introduce new language internally. Intentional affirmations reshape the mind not as empty phrases, but as replacements for old, restrictive beliefs. I am capable of transformation. I am allowed to grow. I am becoming aligned, confident, and intentional. Say them, write them, embody them. Visualization is another powerful tool. Close your eyes and imagine yourself free of old limitations. See how you think, act, and respond in this new version of yourself. Feel the freedom of not being constrained by your past identity. That version of you, in a distant dream, it's accessible now. Letting go isn't about losing, it's about making room. Every belief you release, every habit you interrupt, every fear you confront creates space. Space for clarity, space for alignment, space for the person you are becoming. The old you served a purpose. Now, it's time to move beyond it. Chapter 3. Discovering your core values. As you release what no longer serves you, space opens up, and in that space emerges a critical question. What truly matters to me? This is where your core values come into play. Values are the foundation of who you are. They guide your choices, actions, and the overall direction of your life. When your life aligns with your values, you feel grounded and purposeful. When it doesn't, even accomplishments can feel hollow. Many people pursue goals imposed by others or society rather than what resonates deeply within. They chase success, relationships, and routines that may look impressive but feel disconnected. Over time, this misalignment can breed dissatisfaction. Living in accordance with your values changes everything. When you identify them, your decisions become intentional. You stop seeking external approval because your inner compass is clear. Start by asking, what do I genuinely value? Ignore societal expectations or what seems impressive. Focus on what feels undeniably true to you. Some examples of common values: growth, freedom, peace, authenticity, connection, discipline, creativity, purpose, integrity. Take your time. Some values may emerge immediately, others may reveal themselves gradually. Ideally, identify 5 to 7 core values. Next, explore how they connect to your life. Am I living in alignment with these values? Where do I feel aligned? Where am I off course? Gaps aren't failures, they're signals. If growth is important to you, but you avoid challenges, or if peace matters, but your environment breeds stress, misalignment exists. These signals indicate where transformation is needed. Begin integrating your values into daily life. Values are not abstract, they are lived. Growth could mean learning something new or stepping outside your comfort zone. Peace might involve setting boundaries or creating quiet moments. Discipline could mean following through on commitments, even when it's hard. Small, consistent actions bring your values to life. Over time, they shape your identity. You are no longer guessing who you are intentionally reinforcing it through how you live. Your values may shift as you grow. Priorities evolve. Perspectives deepen. Accept this as a natural part of personal evolution. Living in alignment doesn't guarantee effortless days, but it ensures your actions carry meaning, guiding you rather than pulling you in all directions. When life mirrors your values, something powerful happens. You trust yourself. You stop relying on external validation. Your decisions have clarity and purpose, which becomes a source of inner strength. Take the time to define your values, write them down, revisit them, refine them. The more aligned you become, the smoother and more natural your transformation will feel. You are not merely creating a new identity, you are anchoring it in authenticity. From that foundation, everything you build carries significance. Chapter 4: The Power of Intention. Once your values are clear, the next step is to bring direction to your transformation. Values tell you what matters, but intention determines how you live it. Without intention, even the strongest desires remain scattered. You may feel motivated one day and lost the next. You may know who you want to become, but struggle to move consistently in that direction. Intention changes that. It brings focus to your energy and clarity to your actions. Intention is not the same as wishful thinking. It is a conscious decision, a deliberate commitment to align your thoughts, choices, and behaviors with the identity you are creating. It begins with a simple but powerful question: who am I choosing to become? Not someday, not in the distant future, but now. When you set an intention, you are no longer passively reacting to life, you are actively shaping it. You are telling yourself, this is the direction I am moving in, regardless of distractions, doubts, or temporary setbacks. Your intention becomes your anchor. To begin, take time to define your intentions clearly. Vague ideas create vague results. Be specific about the qualities you want to embody and the way you want to show up in your life. Instead of saying, I want to be better, try, I intend to show up with discipline and focus each day. I intend to speak to myself with confidence and respect. I intend to act in alignment with my values, even when it feels uncomfortable. Write these intentions down. This is your personal declaration, a blueprint for the identity you are building. You may choose to go even deeper by creating a life manifesto. This is a written statement that reflects who you are becoming, how you think, how you act, and what you stand for. It is not about perfection, it is about clarity. Your manifesto serves as a daily reminder of your direction, especially in moments when you feel uncertain or challenged. Read it often. Refine it as you grow. Let it evolve with you. But intention is not just something you write, it is something you practice. Each day presents an opportunity to live in alignment with your intentions, and one of the most powerful ways to reinforce them is through visualization. Take a few minutes each day to close your eyes and imagine your ideal self. See how you carry yourself. Notice your posture, your energy, your mindset. Observe how you respond to challenges, how you interact with others, how you make decisions. Make it as real as possible. Feel the confidence, feel the clarity, feel the alignment. Your mind does not clearly distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is experienced. The more you visualize your future self, the more familiar it becomes. And the more familiar it becomes, the easier it is to step into that version of yourself in real life. This is how identity begins to shift from the inside out. It is also important to understand that intention requires consistency, not perfection. There will be days when you fall short of your expectations, moments when old patterns resurface, times when doubt creeps in. This is part of the process. What matters is not whether you are perfect, it is whether you return. Return to your intention. Return to your vision. Return to the version of yourself you are building. Each time you do, you strengthen that identity. Over time, what once felt intentional begins to feel natural. The way you think, act, and respond starts to align effortlessly with who you've chosen to become. And what began as a conscious effort becomes a way of being. This is the power of intention. It transforms direction into action, action into habit, and habit into identity. So choose your intentions carefully, write them with clarity, practice them daily, and trust that with consistency and awareness, they will shape not only your actions but the person you become. Because the life you experience is not just a result of what you want, it is a reflection of what you intend and who you decide to be. Chapter 5: Spiritual Alignment. As you begin to shape your identity with clarity and intention, there is a deeper layer waiting to support you, one that goes beyond thought, beyond habit, beyond effort. This is the layer of spiritual alignment. Spiritual alignment is not about religion or rigid belief systems. It is about connection to your inner self, to presence, to something greater than the constant movement of your thoughts. It is the practice of grounding yourself in awareness, so that who you are becoming is not only intentional, but also deeply rooted and authentic. Without this alignment, it is easy to become consumed by external noise, expectations, distractions, and pressures can pull you away from your center. You may find yourself doing all the right things, yet still feeling disconnected or unsettled within. Spiritual alignment brings you back to stillness, back to clarity, back to yourself. At its core, it is the ability to pause and simply be, to observe your thoughts without being controlled by them, to feel your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, to create space between stimulus and response, and in that space, you regain your power. One of the most effective ways to cultivate this alignment is through a daily practice of stillness, whether that takes the form of meditation, breathwork, prayer, or quiet reflection. It does not need to be complicated. Even 10 minutes a day can begin to shift your awareness. Sit in a quiet space, close your eyes, bring your attention to your breath. Notice the inhale, the exhale, when your mind begins to wander, and it will gently bring it back. No judgment, no frustration, just awareness. This simple act trains your mind to become less reactive and more present. Over time, you begin to notice a difference. You are no longer immediately pulled into every thought or emotion. You create a sense of inner stability, a calm center that remains steady. Even when life feels uncertain, breath work can deepen this connection further. By consciously controlling your breath, you influence your state of mind and body. Slow, intentional breathing can calm anxiety, increase focus, and reconnect you to the present moment. You might try a simple practice. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Repeat this cycle, allowing your body to relax with each breath. This is more than relaxation, it is realignment. Prayer or intentional reflection can also serve as a powerful anchor. Whether you direct your thoughts toward a higher power, the universe, or simply your highest self, the act of expressing gratitude, seeking guidance, or setting intentions creates a deeper sense of trust and connection. It reminds you that you are not navigating this journey blindly. You are supported by your awareness, your intention, and the deeper intelligence within you. To integrate this into your daily life, create a simple alignment ritual. It might look like this: a few minutes of stillness or meditation, a moment of intentional breathing, a brief reflection or affirmation for the day. This ritual does not need to be long, it needs to be consistent, because spiritual alignment is not something you achieve once. It is something you return to, again and again. As you strengthen this connection, something shifts within you. You become less reactive to external circumstances and more anchored in your inner state. You begin to respond with clarity instead of impulse. You trust yourself more deeply because you are no longer disconnected from your own awareness. And from this place, your transformation becomes more than effort, it becomes flow. You are no longer forcing change. You are allowing it. Remember, your highest self is not only defined by what you do, but by the state of being you carry within you. And when that state is grounded, present, and aligned, everything you build from it becomes stronger, more intentional, and more real. So return to stillness, return to your breath, return to yourself, because in that space, you will always find what you need. Chapter 6. Rewriting Your Story. Every person carries a story and narrative about who they are, where they come from, and what they are capable of. Often, this story is written unconsciously, shaped by experiences, mistakes, fears, and the expectations of others. Over time, these narratives can feel unchangeable, as if they are absolute truth. But here's the truth: your story is not fixed. You are the author. Every thought, every choice, every reflection gives you the power to rewrite it. Rewriting your story begins with awareness. It requires noticing the recurring themes and limiting beliefs that have been quietly guiding your actions. Perhaps you tell yourself, "I am not enough. I always fail when I try. Success is for other people, not me." These narratives are powerful not because they are true, but because you have believed them. They have influenced your behaviors, shaped your habits, and defined your identity. Yet, you are not bound to them. The first step in rewriting your story is to step back and observe it objectively. Write down the current story you've been telling yourself. Include the fears, doubts, and self-imposed limitations. See it fully, give it form, and recognize it for what it is: a story, not a law. Next comes transformation. Begin to craft a new narrative, one that reflects the person you are becoming. Use language as a tool of empowerment. Instead of saying, "I fail often," say, "I learn, grow, and move forward with resilience." Instead of, "I am not enough," say, "I am whole, capable, and constantly evolving." Visualization strengthens this process. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living your new story. See how you act, speak, and respond. Feel the confidence, courage, and alignment as if it is happening right now. By experiencing your story in your mind first, you create a blueprint for reality. You can also use journaling to solidify this change. Write a chapter of your life as if you have already become the person you aspire to be. Describe your days, your achievements, and how you carry yourself. Write with detail, clarity, and emotion. The more vivid your narrative, the stronger its imprint on your subconscious mind. Remember, words shape belief, and belief shapes reality. When you tell yourself a story of limitation, you live in limitation. When you tell yourself a story of possibility, you open the doors to transformation. Rewriting your story is not about erasing your past, it's about reclaiming your power. Your past is part of you, but it does not define your future. You have the ability to transform every chapter, page by page, sentence by sentence, into a story that aligns with your highest self. This is your chance to author a life of courage, purpose, and authenticity. Every day offers a new paragraph. Every choice offers a new word. Every moment gives you the opportunity to step fully into the story you were always meant to live. Your story is waiting to be rewritten. Take up the pen. Chapter 7. Embodying confidence and courage. Knowing who you want to become is one thing, living as that person is another. Transformation is not only a mental or spiritual process. It is physical, emotional, and practical. Embodying your highest self means showing up in the world as if you already are that person. It is the bridge between vision and reality. Confidence and courage are the pillars of embodiment. Confidence is not arrogance, it is alignment with your values, clarity about your intentions, and trust in your ability to act. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in spite of it. Both are developed through practice, not mere desire. Begin by paying attention to your posture, movement, and presence. The way you carry yourself communicates volumes to the world and to yourself. Stand tall, move deliberately, and speak with intention. Small adjustments in physical behavior signal to your brain that you are stepping into a stronger, more empowered identity. Next, practice courage in your decisions. Start with small acts that challenge comfort but align with your new self. Speak up when your opinion matters. Take responsibility even when it feels risky. Follow through on commitments when procrastination or fear urges you to delay. Each courageous act, no matter how minor, reinforces your identity as someone who acts intentionally and decisively. Language also shapes embodiment. Replace self-doubt with affirmations rooted in your values and intentions. Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," say, "I am capable of facing challenges with strength and clarity." Words are not empty, they carry energy that reinforces identity. Visualization strengthens courage. Picture yourself acting boldly in situations that have previously felt intimidating. See yourself navigating challenges with composure and confidence. Feel the emotions of success and empowerment as if they are happening now. Your mind cannot distinguish vividly imagined action from reality. It begins to internalize the experience. Courage and confidence also grow through consistency. Small daily practices, taking decisive action, standing firm in your values, speaking your truth, compound over time. Habits of bravery build a resilient, confident self that naturally steps forward, even when circumstances are uncertain. Remember, fear will always arise. The difference is not in avoiding fear, but in refusing to let it dictate your choices. Each time you act in alignment with your highest self despite fear, you reinforce the neural pathways that make courage habitual. Embodying confidence and courage is not about perfection. It is about showing up as fully and authentically as possible. It is about living as your ideal self in thought, word, and deed. It is about practicing daily the art of being the person you are becoming. Step into your power. Move with intention. Speak with clarity. Act with courage. The world does not shape you, you shape yourself. And when you embody your highest self, every choice, every gesture, every word becomes a declaration of who you truly are. Your highest self is not something to chase, it is something to live. Chapter 8. Habits that shape identity. Transformation is not built on inspiration alone, it is built on repetition. The thoughts you think, the actions you take, and the choices you make every day create the foundation of who you are. In short, your habits become your identity. Every habit is a signal to your mind about who you believe yourself to be. If you wake up late, avoid challenges, or procrastinate regularly, your brain learns that you are someone who resists discipline. If you practice consistency, take intentional action, and align your daily routines with your values, your brain learns that you are someone capable, focused, and resilient. Identity is built in small, repeated steps, not dramatic leaps. Begin by identifying the habits that no longer serve you. These might be mental patterns, self-doubt, negative self-talk, comparison, or physical routines like neglecting your health, avoiding tasks, or overcommitting without boundaries. These habits are remnants of your old identity, quietly reinforcing beliefs that hold you back. Recognize them without judgment. Awareness is the first step toward change. Next, choose the habits that will embody your highest self. Think beyond short-term goals. Consider the person you want to become and what daily actions reflect that identity. This might include waking up early to start your day intentionally, journaling to clarify thoughts and track growth, practicing gratitude or mindfulness daily, exercising consistently to honor your body, setting boundaries to protect your energy, speaking and acting with integrity. Start small. 1 or 2 habits, repeated daily, create momentum far more effectively than trying to overhaul everything at once. Consistency compounds over time, turning deliberate actions into automatic behavior. To reinforce your habits, track them. A simple habit tracker, whether a journal, app, or calendar, helps you see progress and maintain accountability. Celebrate small wins, as they signal to your subconscious that you are committed to change. Equally important is pairing habits with your values and intentions. A habit becomes transformational only when it aligns with the identity you are sculpting. Exercise is not just about fitness, it is about discipline and self-respect. Journaling is not just about writing, it is about clarity and self-awareness. Align actions with meaning, and habits become living expressions of your highest self. Expect challenges. Old patterns will resurface. Motivation will fluctuate. Some days will feel effortless. Others will feel heavy. That is normal. The difference lies in persistence. Each time you choose to act intentionally, you strengthen the neural pathways that define your identity. Your highest self is not built in a single moment, it is built habit by habit, choice by choice. Small, consistent actions, repeated over time, create monumental change. Every morning you follow through, every decision aligned with your values, every small act of courage. This is the scaffold on which your new identity is formed. Habits are not constraints, they are the tools of freedom. They are the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. Build them consciously, maintain them intentionally, and watch as your life begins to reflect the person you were always meant to be. Expect challenges. Old patterns will resurface. Motivation will fluctuate. Some days will feel effortless. Others will feel heavy. That is normal. The difference lies in persistence. Each time you choose to act intentionally, you strengthen the neural pathways that define your identity. Your highest self is not built in a single moment, it is built habit by habit, choice by choice. Small, consistent actions, repeated over time, create monumental change. Every morning you follow through, every decision aligned with your values, every small act of courage. This is the scaffold on which your new identity is formed. Habits are not constraints, they are the tools of freedom. They are the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. Build them consciously, maintain them intentionally, and watch as your life begins to reflect the person you were always meant to be. Chapter 9. Cultivating Resilience and Presence. No journey of transformation is without challenges. Even as you release old patterns, clarify your values, set intentions, and cultivate empowering habits, life will continue to present setbacks, doubts, and fears. The difference between stagnation and growth is how you respond. This is where resilience and presence become your greatest allies. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulty, it is about bending without breaking. It is the ability to face challenges, adapt, and emerge stronger. Every setback is an opportunity to strengthen your inner foundation. When you meet difficulty with awareness and choice, rather than reaction, you transform obstacles into catalysts for growth. Presence is the key to resilience. When you are fully present, you are no longer consumed by worries about the past or anxieties about the future. You are able to respond to life with clarity, calm, and intentionality. Presence allows you to see situations as they truly are, rather than through the lens of fear, judgment, or self-doubt. To cultivate resilience, begin with mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day to focus on the present moment, your breath, your body, your surroundings. Notice your thoughts, but do not cling to them. Observe emotions, but do not be ruled by them. This practice strengthens your ability to respond rather than react. Reframing challenges is another powerful tool. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? How can I grow from it? By seeking the lesson in every difficulty, you shift from victimhood to empowerment. Adversity becomes a teacher rather than a threat. Developing emotional resilience also means practicing self-compassion. When mistakes happen or setbacks occur, treat yourself with kindness. Acknowledge that growth is a process, not a linear path. Encourage yourself as you would a friend, supportive, patient, and understanding. Another practice is reflection. At the end of each day, review moments of challenge. Identify where you responded with presence and where you slipped into old patterns. Reflect without judgment and commit to doing better tomorrow. Each reflection strengthens self-awareness, which is the foundation of resilience. Resilience and presence also reinforce courage. When fear arises, a grounded, present mind allows you to act despite discomfort. You learn to trust yourself in uncertainty, knowing that you have the tools, awareness, and inner strength to navigate life. Remember, life will always have unpredictability. The goal is not to eliminate difficulty, but to cultivate a steady inner state that allows you to face it gracefully. When you build resilience and presence, external circumstances no longer dictate your inner world. You become the calm in the storm, the observer who chooses how to move forward. This is the essence of empowerment, the ability to remain centered, adaptable, and purposeful in every moment. With resilience and presence, you no longer fear challenges. They become stepping stones toward the highest version of yourself. Every trial faced with awareness strengthens your identity. Every moment lived fully anchors you in your transformation. By cultivating resilience and presence, you learn that your inner state defines your reality, not the circumstances surrounding you. And in that truth lies freedom. Chapter 10. Living your transformed self. After releasing old patterns, clarifying values, setting intentions, embodying courage, and cultivating resilience, the final step is integration. Living as your transformed self. Transformation is not a moment, it is a lifestyle. It is the conscious alignment of thought, word, action, and presence in every aspect of your life. Living your transformed self begins with consistency. The practices you have cultivated, reflection, meditation, journaling, intentional action, and alignment with values, must move beyond exercises into daily living. Each choice you make, each action you take, becomes a reinforcement of your identity. Over time, the repetition of intentional behaviors creates a natural embodiment of your highest self. Integration also requires awareness of balance. Transformation is holistic. It encompasses mind, body, heart, and spirit. Mental clarity, emotional resilience, physical vitality, and spiritual grounding must all be nurtured. When one area is neglected, misalignment can emerge. Living your transformed self means tending to each dimension with mindfulness and care. A practical way to anchor this integration is through a 90-day embodiment plan. Identify key habits, rituals, and intentions that reflect your highest self. Schedule them intentionally, track progress, review weekly, and adjust as needed. This structured approach bridges vision and reality, ensuring that transformation moves from abstract aspiration to tangible expression. Reflection remains crucial. Even as you live in alignment, return regularly to ask, am I acting in accordance with my values? Am I embodying my intentions? Where can I deepen presence, courage, or alignment? Transformation is iterative. It is a continual refinement rather than a final destination. Celebrate progress no matter how small. Every decision that aligns with your highest self, every fear faced, every habit maintained, every act of courage is a victory. Gratitude for progress reinforces identity, strengthens confidence, and fuels ongoing growth. Living your transformed self also invites authenticity in all areas of life. You no longer conform to outdated expectations, nor do you act from fear. You respond from clarity, purpose, and alignment. Relationships, work, and daily interactions naturally reflect your inner transformation. You are no longer chasing life, you are shaping it. Remember, transformation is not static. You will continue to evolve. Challenges will arise. Growth will stretch you beyond comfort, but the practices, intentions, and identity you have cultivated provide a resilient foundation. They allow you to navigate life with presence, courage, and clarity, always returning to your highest self as a guide. Conclusion: your ongoing journey. As this journey comes to a pause, it is important to recognize that transformation is not a destination, it is a lifelong practice. The chapters you have explored are not a checklist to complete once and forget. They are a map, a guide, and a set of tools to help you consciously sculpt your identity over time. Celebrate the progress you have made. Even small shifts in thought, habit, or perception are monumental victories. Each moment of awareness, each act of courage, each choice aligned with your values reinforces the person you are becoming. Transformation is cumulative. It grows quietly, steadily, and powerfully when nurtured consistently. Identity sculpting requires patience and persistence. There will be days when old patterns resurface, when doubt creeps in, and when fear challenges your resolve. These moments are not failures, they are opportunities to return to awareness, to realign with intention, and to practice resilience. Every return strengthens your identity and deepens your transformation. Revisit the exercises, the reflections, and the rituals outlined in this guide whenever you feel disconnected. Journaling, affirmations, meditation, visualization, and embodiment practices are not one-time tools. They are ongoing companions on your journey. Each practice reminds you of your values, intentions, and highest self, keeping your transformation alive and accessible. Remember, the person you are becoming already exists within you. Identity sculpting is about peeling away what no longer serves you and giving space for that version of yourself to emerge. Your highest self is not a distant ideal, it is a living possibility that grows stronger with every conscious choice you make. As you move forward, hold this truth. Transformation is joyful, dynamic, and deeply personal. It is about living intentionally, acting courageously, and aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with your core values. It is about embracing life fully, even when it is uncertain, because every challenge is a step toward greater clarity, strength, and presence. Take a deep breath. Center yourself in this moment. Feel gratitude for the growth you have experienced and the possibilities that lie ahead. Commit to your ongoing journey with curiosity, courage, and openness. Return to your practices, revisit your reflections, and continue to evolve. Your highest self is not a finish line, it is a way of living, and your journey continues, moment by moment, choice by choice, step by step. This is the gift of identity sculpting. You are always becoming, always growing, and always capable of stepping into the person you are truly meant to be.